like Proverbs because it's also poetic. You know, that's poetic talking when you talks about the words of a man's mouth are like deep waters. You know, you have to have a picturesque mind to be able to really see that and kind of comprehend it. Or the wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook. The words of a wise man are a deep pool and a flowing stream and a fountain of life. They are profound, not shallow, flowing, not unpleasant or distasteful, refreshing, not insipid, and that word insipid means stale or lame. The image is similar to the phrase that we saw in Proverbs 10 and 11 and 13 and 14 and 14 and 27, 16 and 22 about a fountain of life. So a wise man, the words of a man's mouth are like a fountain. A righteous man or a wise man is like a fountain of life. It is continually producing life. It is not good to show partiality to the wicked or to overthrow the righteous in judgment. Now God here condemns the reversal of moral judgment. And we see this all throughout Proverbs. To condone wickedness and deprive the righteous of justice is to put truth on a scaffold. You know what a scaffold is? That's one of those things that is used for public execution. You know, those. That's what it's like, and wrong on the throne. So you put truth on a scaffold for public execution, like you do criminals, and wrong is up on the throne. You know, kind of like the things that are being done wrong are set up as this is the way. You know, it's okay, it's acceptable, because we see that a lot on television. I mean, you know, all of the sexual promiscuous acts. It's like there's nothing to it. There's nothing to boy meet girl. We just met you, drag them home, and there we are, ripping our clothes off. There's nothing to it, you know. Hey, that's wrong. So that is presented as, you know, the thing to do. Fools, to show partiality is a distortion of justice. Now fools, in verse 6, fools' words get them into constant quarrel. They're asking for a beating. And in the King James Version, it reads, a fool's lip enter into contention and his mouth calls for blows. So that's what they're saying. Now, a loud-mouthed fool is always trying to pick a fight or start trouble. Now, this is very characteristic of a drunkard. They excel in this. I had a couple of uncles, nice guys, when they weren't drinking. But when they got to drinking, they always got in a fight because it was always running their mouth. Saying something about somebody's mama, you know. And all they succeeded in doing was getting beat up. I mean, every weekend they come home beat up because they got drunk and ran their mouth too much. But that's a fool. Words, that's what happens. You know, and when this is talking about a person who do different things. Not one person, but different aspects of how a fool acts out. The mouth of fools are their ruin, and they trap themselves with their lips. A fool's speech is his downfall. We just said that. And his reckless and foul language brings about his eventual ruin. The words, now this, verse 8, the words of we're talking about a talebearer here. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost belly. Now in the King James version, the New King James, it says the words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles. That's what it says, and they go down into his innermost belly. One says it's like tasty morsels. In other words, the words of a talebearer is like delicious tidbits of tasty morsels. The listener devours them, and it is almost like if that listener says, "Yummy, that was tasty. I like that. Tell me more." You know how that is. You know how that is. It is hard lots of times. Now you have to start practicing this. You really do. But it's hard sometimes not to listen to gossip. Because they are just like that, tasty morsels. found out a little bit of this, and this is what's going on, and things like that. It's hard for some to refuse to listen to rumors and gossip as it is to turn down a delicious dessert. Taking just one morsel of either one creates a taste for more. And this is how you resist rumors and gossip. You do it the same way that a determined dieter resists candy. Don't even open the box. Better yet, don't buy the box and take it home. If you don't nibble on the first bite of gossip, then you won't take the second or the third bite. So gossipers, not only does the person here devour it, the person gossiping relishes the gossip. That person feeds on his own malicious words. Girl, did you know? I know this and I know, tell me more. You know, well, you have to really, as believers, you know, those are a lot of things that we as human beings have been used to. You know, somebody call you and tell you some juicy stuff, and you're like, tell me more. You're kidding. You know, and when you start practicing to really not get involved in that, use it, you know. Everything in you will be saying, tell me. But because you have the Holy Spirit, He said you don't need to go there. Because you're responsible for what you know. And what you know, you begin to look at people differently. You begin to size them out and make judgments on the situation. So if everything in you is screaming and say, tell me, I don't want to hear it. Now, you're not really lying, okay? You're practicing. Practice makes perfect. I don't want to hear it. And that other voice said, yes, you do. You follow through and say, I don't want to hear it. That way you're going to help the person gossiping. Now, they might find somebody else to help, but if that's your best friend, you're going to help them out there. So, talebearers, the words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles. Let's don't get involved in rumors or gossip. He who is slothful in his work is a brother to him who is a great destroyer. Now, he who is slothful in his work, the scripture says is a brother to a great destroyer. Now, the slothful person, this is how a slothful person is. They complain, they cut corners, they cripple the businesses and cause hardship. They're quitters. They quit before the job is finished. Now, this is what, you know, and I think that there's a lot of slothfulness in our country today, especially in a lot of businesses and things like that. That's why there's a lot of things that are not, that come out messed up, because the person that's supposed to be doing the job is not doing their best. Yeah. They're just doing what they can do to get a paycheck.